Okay, this is part of 8.06, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to review how to complete the square, but then I'm going to do the same thing you did using letters. So first thing that we always do is we move the constant to the other side so that we isolate the two variable terms. That leaves us with 2x squared plus 16x equals 18. Next, what we do is we need a to equal 1, so we're going to divide every single term by 2. That leaves us with x squared plus 8x equals 9. Next is the completing the square part, where we add some value to both sides so that this is a perfect square. So the way that we figure out what we add is we take the middle term, b, we divide it by 2, and we square it. That will leave us with x squared plus 8x plus 8 divided by 2 is 4. 4 squared is 16. Now you see that this is a perfect square where it would be x plus 4 times x plus 4. So we rewrite it as a perfect square. The left side is the right side is 25. So again, I'm going to do the same thing just with letters instead now. What we did here was we moved the constant. So we're going to go ahead and move the constant as well by subtracting it on both sides. We're left with ax squared plus bx equals a negative c. The next thing that we did here was we divided everything by 2. So here we'll divide everything by a. This is where things get a little bit complicated. We're left with x squared plus b over ax equals negative c divided by a. What we did next is we took the middle term, divided it by 2, and squared it. So we're going to take this middle term. I'm going to go to the side and do some scratch work. I'm going to take the middle term, divide it by 2, then square it. So that might look a little complicated, but let's rewrite this a different way. Take the middle term, divide it by 2, then square it. When I see a fraction divided by a number, I change it so that I multiply by the reciprocal. Now I can multiply straight across. B divided by a times 2 is 2a squared. If I'm squaring this fraction, that means I'm multiplying it by itself. Numerator becomes b squared. Denominator is 4a squared. So this simplifies to that. B squared divided by 4a squared. The next step was to simplify, but we're going to skip that part for this side and rewrite it as a perfect square. Remember, the perfect square is always going to be this middle term divided by 2 to get that one. So this middle term divided by 2 to get that one. Luckily, we've already done that. Middle term divided by 2. That's simplified to b over 2a. Now, this right side is two fractions, and we need to combine them. I'm actually going to go to the scratch paper here to do that. Negative c over a plus b squared over 4a squared. Since we have two fractions, we need them to have common denominators so that we could add them. So the denominator of this one is 4a squared, so I need to multiply this one by 4 over 4. That would give us a 4a. This has a squared, so I need to multiply by 4a over 4a. That makes this fraction negative 4ac divided by 4a squared plus b squared over 4a squared. Now that they have a common denominator, I can add the numerator, which equals negative 4ac plus b squared divided by 4a squared. except we like to put things in with the highest power first. So I'm just going to flip those around. B squared minus 4ac divided by 4a squared. This is what this simplifies to. So I'll replace that. And this is technically what that is.